All right, so today we're going to be diving into some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
AI with long-term memory.
Yeah.
Really interesting topic.
Definitely fascinating stuff.
Imagine like an AI assistant that isn't, just a glorified calendar, right?
Right.
Like it actually remembers
Yeah.
everything about you, your projects, your quirks.
Yeah.
Even just like that random book you mentioned like weeks ago.
Right. Like it's got that context.
And things are about to get really interesting.
For sure. This is
Yeah.
it's a big leap forward. We've got this article from The Neuron
Yeah.
all about it.
Yeah.
And it really lays out a future
Mm-hmm.
where AI isn't just helpful. It's practically like a mind reader.
Right, yeah, and that's where
Mhm.
this whole deep dive gets really juicy.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack what this long-term memory means, like for you,
Yeah.
for me, for everyone listening.
Right.
Exploring both the amazing potential and, let's be honest,
Yeah.
some pretty hefty concerns about what happens when AI knows, like, everything about us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Right
like
on.
stepping into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
This article highlights Mustafa Suleyman,
Mm-hmm.
who's the AI head honcho over at Microsoft.
Right.
And his vision is pretty wild.
Yeah.
He's talking about these AI co-pilots
Uh-huh.
that are constantly learning and adapting,
Right.
almost like a sidekick that knows you better than,
Wow.
your best friend.
That's both cool and kind of creepy, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, like,
It is.
imagine your AI is suggesting the perfect time to tackle that project you've been putting off
Mhm.
based on your energy levels and past work habits.
Right.
But then it also knows every embarrassing song you've ever listened to.
Yeah, that's the crux of it, right?
Right.
Like, Suleiman paints this picture of hyper-personalization.
Mm-hmm.
Your AI remember your favorite restaurants,
Yeah.
knows you're allergic to shellfish,
Mm-hmm.
even understands your work style
Yeah.
to like suggest the optimal time for,
Right.
focused tasks versus
Mhm.
creative brainstorming. It's like having a
Yeah.
superpowered personal assistant that's also a mind reader.
So sign me up for the restaurant recommendations and
Yeah.
work-life balance tips.
Yeah.
But this whole AI remembers everything
Yeah,
has got to come with some serious security measures, right?
for sure.
Like, what's stopping it from spilling all my secrets, or even worse,
Yeah.
using that info against me?
Well, that's where things get a little thorny.
Uh-huh.
Privacy advocates are waving some serious red flags,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. We're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
AI retaining vast amounts of personal information.
Right.
What if it gets hacked?
Yeah.
What if it misuses the data?
Uh-huh.
Or even creepier, starts making decisions based on
Right.
incomplete or biased information?
Yeah, that's not exactly the warm
Yeah.
and fuzzy AI future
Yeah.
I was hoping for.
It's not like we don't have examples of tech going rogue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Data breaches.
it's not just like a theoretical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, data breaches are practically a weekly
Right.
news headline at this point.
That's
So
right.
it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But the AI supporters, they have a counter-argument.
Okay.
They say context is key.
Yeah.
If an AI is going to be truly helpful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like managing your schedule,
Yeah.
recommending books, even helping you start a business,
Mm-hmm.
it needs access to your calendar,
Right.
your past activities, your preferences.
Okay.
To them, it's all about using data for good.
So it's like a trade-off, right?
It is a trade-off.
The more the AI knows, the better it can personalize its assistance.
Right.
But then you're handing over the keys to your digital kingdom. It all comes down to trust,
Uh-huh.
which, let's face it, isn't something tech companies have always excelled at.
Not always, no.
Right.
That's for sure.
So,
And that brings us to
yeah.
a fascinating point that Suleiman makes in the article.
Okay.
He argues that our expectations of privacy
Mm-hmm.
are actually changing, especially with devices like smartphones,
Right.
smart TVs,
Uh-huh.
even our cars constantly collecting data on us.
Oh, yeah. You mean like that whole debate about the iPhone's live view feature?
Exactly.
The one where it records like a few seconds of video before and after you take a picture?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know people who freak out about that, and then other people who are just like, whatever, it's convenient.
Right.
Right.
It's true. Suleiman sees that as a sign
Uh-huh.
that people are becoming
Yeah.
desensitized
Mm.
to technology,
Mm.
having access to their
Yeah.
personal information maybe,
Yeah.
because they see the value it brings.
So are we basically sleepwalking into a future where
Yeah.
constant monitoring is just the norm?
I mean, it's a possibility.
Right. And if so, how do we make sure we're at least setting some boundaries with AI?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And it's one we'll continue to explore
Yeah.
as we go deeper into this world of AI with long-term memory.
Okay.
Because let's be real, this tech isn't going anywhere.
So if AI with a super memory is the inevitable future,
Uh-huh.
are we all doomed to become slaves to our robot overlords? Or...
Robot overlords might be a bit dramatic, but
Okay,
yeah.
is there a way to make this work for us without sacrificing our privacy?
Right.
And maybe even our sanity?
Well, that's what we're going to be diving into.
Okay.
So buckle up. I think
Yeah.
robot overlords might be a bit dramatic.
Right.
But it is true that this technology has the potential to be, like, incredibly disruptive.
Okay.
This article even compares it to the invention of, like, the printing press or the internet.
Wow.
In terms of its impact on society.
So we're not just talking about AI that remembers my grocery list. We're talking about something that could, like, fundamentally change how we live, work, and interact with the world.
Exactly. Think about it.
Yeah.
AI with long-term memory could personalize education, healthcare, even how we consume news and entertainment. It's like having a custom-tailored world built just for you.
Okay, that sounds amazing in theory, but also kind of terrifying.
Right.
What if this personalized world gets it wrong?
Right.
What if it reinforces our biases or limits our choices without us even realizing it?
That's why it's so crucial to have these conversations now.
Yeah.
Before this technology becomes so integrated into our lives that we can't imagine living without it.
Right.
We need to be thinking about the ethical implications and setting boundaries, like, from the start.
And it's not just up to the tech companies, right?
Right. It's a...
Like, we as users have a responsibility to be informed.
Absolutely.
And to demand transparency about how our data is being used.
Yeah. It's a two-way street. Developers need to prioritize ethical design and user control. But users also need to be proactive in setting boundaries.
Right.
And understanding the potential risks.
Yeah.
It's like a digital version of buyer beware.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not necessarily, no.
There's a chance we can actually shape this future of AI with long-term memory.
I think so.
Into something that benefits humanity instead of turning us all into data-driven zombies.
I believe so, but it requires awareness, critical thinking, and a willingness to ask tough questions.
Like what?
Like, how much control are we willing to give up in exchange for convenience or personalization?
Right.
And what safeguards need to be in place to prevent AI from being used for, like, manipulation or discrimination?
Those are some heavy questions.
They are big questions.
But it feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah.
We've talked about the potential benefits and the risks.
Right.
But what about the actual adoption of this technology? Is everyone going to be rushing out to get an AI assistant with a super memory?
Well, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the article highlights that.
Okay.
While AI is like the fastest growing tech sector, mass adoption isn't a guarantee.
Okay.
They cite a recent poll by the Reuters Institute that found that while a significant number of people in the UK had tried ChatGPT, only a tiny fraction actually use it, like, regularly.
So people are curious, but maybe not quite ready to fully embrace AI in their everyday lives.
That seems to be the case.
Interesting.
Even Mustafa Suleyman acknowledges that AI assistants might not reach the same level of ubiquity as smartphones.
Right.
He even suggests that up to half the population might reject them outright.
50% rejection.
Yeah, it's a pretty big chunk of people saying no thanks to the AI revolution.
Right. But why? Is it purely privacy concerns, or are there other factors at play?
It's likely a combination of things.
Okay.
Some people might be wary of becoming too reliant on technology, while others might just not see the value in having an AI assistant.
Right.
Especially if it comes with those privacy trade-offs.
It's interesting to think about, like, just a few years ago. Everyone was obsessed with the latest smartphone features and apps. Now it seems like there's a growing awareness of the potential downsides of constant connectivity and data collection.
It's like a pendulum swing, right?
Yeah.
As technology advances, we're starting to question its impact on our lives and seeking a more balanced approach.
So maybe this whole AI with long-term memory thing isn't a runaway train after all?
Maybe not.
Maybe there's a chance to slow down, have a conversation,
Yeah.
figure out how to integrate this technology in a way that aligns with our values and doesn't completely erode our privacy.
I'd say that's a very insightful observation.
Thanks.
It's not about rejecting progress, but about being mindful and deliberate in how we adopt these new technologies.
Right.
And that brings us back to one of the core themes of this deep dive, that delicate balance between the potential benefits of AI and the very real concerns about privacy and control.
It's a tightrope walk for sure.
It is.
But I think it's a walk worth taking because the potential here is huge. Imagine an AI that could help us solve some of the world's most pressing problems, from climate change to disease.
Absolutely. The power of personalized knowledge at our fingertips is truly transformative.
Yeah.
But we have to wield that power responsibly.
So how do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we ensure that this future of AI with long-term memory is one where we're empowered, not exploited?
It starts with education, both for developers and users. We need to understand the capabilities and limitations of AI, be aware of the potential biases, and demand transparency from the companies that are creating these systems.
And we need to be having these conversations not just in tech circles, but in our homes, schools, and communities.
Exactly, because ultimately the future of AI is going to be shaped by all of us.
Right. It really feels like we're at like a turning point, right?
Yeah.
This isn't just about, the next cool gadget. It's about redefining our relationship with technology and figuring out how to make it work for us, not the other way around.
Precisely. And this article from the Neuron really drives that point home.
Yeah.
It's not just fear-mongering about AI taking over the world.
Right.
It's a thoughtful exploration of the choices we face as this technology becomes, more powerful and more integrated into our lives.
One of the things that really stuck with me was the discussion about AI being like a potential bubble.
Right.
Like, is this all just hype, or is there real substance behind the promise of, personalized knowledge at our fingertips?
It's a valid question, and one that even experts are debating.
Right.
The article mentions Jim Covello from Goldman Sachs, whose voiced concerns that AI might be overhyped.
Right.
Similar to some of the tech trends we've seen in the past.
But then you have folks like Mustafa Suleyman, who are firmly in the AI as a game-changer camp.
Exactly.
They argue that the value of having instant access to personalized information tailored to your specific needs and goals is just too significant to dismiss.
And to be fair, Suleyman backs up his optimism with concrete examples.
Okay.
He talks about this woman who used an AI chatbot called Pi, developed by his team at Inflection AI, to get her business off the ground.
Wow.
For him, it's proof that AI can empower individuals in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
That's a really compelling story.
Yeah.
It shows how AI can be more than just a productivity tool. It can be like a catalyst for creativity, innovation, even personal growth.
Exactly. And that potential is what makes the conversation about AI so complex and, frankly, so fascinating.
Right.
It's not a simple black and white issue. It's a spectrum of possibilities with both immense benefits and potential risks.
And as we navigate this spectrum, it seems like transparency is key.
Absolutely.
We need to know what data AI is collecting, how it's being used, and what safeguards are in place to prevent misuse or abuse.
Users need to be empowered to make informed choices about how much they're willing to share and what level of personalization they're comfortable with.
It's like a digital version of informed consent.
Right.
We shouldn't be blindly handing over our data without understanding the implications.
And that's why the article's focus on Microsoft's new AI features is so interesting. It provides a real-world example of how these concepts are playing out in the development of actual products that people are using.
Yeah. I was particularly intrigued by CoPilot vision.
Okay.
It's like having an AI that can see what you're seeing on the web and offer assistance based on that context. It sounds incredibly powerful, but also a bit Big Brother-ish. You know what I mean?
That's a valid concern and one that Microsoft seems to be aware of.
Okay.
The article emphasizes that CoPilot Vision doesn't store or record any data, requires manual activation by the user, and automatically shuts down after each session.
Okay, that does make it sound less intrusive.
Right.
It's like they're trying to find that balance between providing helpful assistance and respecting user privacy.
It's also worth noting that CoPilot Vision is still in a limited rollout phase and only compatible with a select number of websites.
Right.
So it's not quite as ubiquitous as some might fear.
Right. It seems like they're taking a cautious approach, which is probably wise given the sensitivity around AI and data privacy these days.
Indeed. And that cautious approach, I think, speaks to the larger point we've been discussing throughout this deep dive.
Yeah.
The development and adoption of AI.
Right.
Especially AI with long-term memory.
Yeah.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
We're all figuring this out together, and it's going to require ongoing dialogue, critical thinking,
right,
and a willingness to adapt as the technology evolves.
So as we wrap up this exploration of AI with long-term memory, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the most important thing to remember is that AI is a tool. And like any tool can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
The future of AI isn't predetermined.
Yeah.
It's something we're all shaping through our choices, our demands, and our expectations.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It's not about passively accepting whatever technology throws at us.
Right.
It's about being active participants in shaping the future we want to see.
Exactly. And that future starts with asking questions, staying informed, and engaging in thoughtful conversations like the one we've had today.
Well said. And to our listener, we encourage you to continue this exploration, dive deeper into the world of AI, explore its potential, and consider how you want this technology to shape your life and the world around you. Because ultimately, the future of AI is in our hands.